take up this week will not be part of the test. Okay. By the way, how many of you are going to do the next week's course? If many of you are doing, then I'll suspend the classes next week. If very few of you are doing, then I'll take the classes. Let me know beforehand so that I can plan accordingly. So can I start off?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So I'm sharing my screen. Let the others join in. Just a minute. So today I'll be discussing the AI applications. So I'll be discussing the neural networks in details later on because they are the basis of your. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. So I'll be discussing the basic. I'll be giving the basic overview of the different applications of artificial intelligence, and then I'll be the last application I'll be discussing in details. That is the neural networks part. And other than that, I have the knowledge representation which is left. I'll be taking that up later. And during this, I'll be discussing the search part. I hope those who have done a Vishal and Deepjyoti, you have done the AI course, I guess. Anybody else who has done the AI course of NPTEL?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there is knowledge representation and there is search. So they have two different courses on search and knowledge representation in details, whereas I'll be taking up those two as two separate units. Okay, I'll not be discussing them in details. here we have a wide variety of students here. So I'll try to focus on all the different aspects of AI, and then later on in your thesis, if you are want to apply any particular area, you can do. Okay. So coming to the applications of AI, so there are different typical problems for different AI methods can be applied, and there are wide variety of methods. And many of you know these things like OCR. That is, you have been during this pandemic time, you have been say scanning and sending your answer scripts and other things, as well as when you have these PDF documents. If you have a OCR or optical character recognition, you can directly convert from the PDF to text you can get. So most of you know that. Then handwriting recognition, electronics students. I think last year or last to last year, I forgot. One of your seniors had done a project on handwriting recognition using deep learning or machine learning. I hope under Vishango sir, I think electronic students know that. And then speech recognition you have seen in movies. They are doing this speech recognition and voice recognition. Those things are there. There are different aspects. When I'll be discussing the NLP part, I'll be discussing to some extent that. Then face recognition, you are very much aware of. You nowadays, many of you are having mobile phones based on that. And artificial creativity means auto rearrangement or asking for creativity you can do. Means nowadays you are having various photo editors and photo different auto adjustments are there. So those creativities are focused there. Then computer vision, virtual reality, and your image processing, pixel art, many things, image related things are being done there. Then manipulations are there. So there is another research area where people are working on finding out which photos are actually manipulated photos. So there is a separate research area where if you get any photo, you can find out via image processing or video processing whether that photo is doctored or not doctored. So a lot of research is done on image and video forensics. So there this AI is used. Then diagnosis, which we have been discussing. So we are having this diagnosis and other things that we can do. I have been doing for pickle liver and other things. You have seen that how we have done that. Then game theory, computer science people, they apply game theory in various applications. And strategic planning is also there. Like if you play a tic-tac-toe game with the computer, or you play chess with the computer, the complexity level changes, but you are having, say, when you play chess with the computer, it has a higher level of complexity, whereas if you play a tic-tac-toe game, then it is a different level of complexity. uh, and if you do moving slates and other things also, you have done slates. Anybody remember playing slates when they were kids? Slates means you have say a picture made. If there is a 9x9 slate and one particular block is missing, so, or say 3x3 slates. 3x3 means there will be one square of 3x3 and one of the things will be, and you can move the things here and there. 3x3, 5x5 slates. Anybody remember playing slates? Only one box you can move.
Yes, sir.
Slates. So slates 3x3, 5x5, 7x7. As the number increases, the number of options and these increases. Then this computer-based, computer bot-based game playing and other things you can do. Then natural language processing, translation, chatterbots, and other things you can do. So these are various applications that are there, but these are not limited to these. This nonlinear control robotics are very common in this uh, uh, this for your electrical guys. And other than that, there are many more, but not limited to, say, artificial live automated reasoning. then your this bio-inspired computing. Nowadays you are having lot of bio-inspired computing, like many of you might have heard statistics guys, you must be knowing different cases like particle swarm optimization, ant colony optimization, beehive uh, optimization. Then different we can look into fishes, we can look into crows, we can look into. So based on the different animals working in a pattern, like when the we see in Tripura University the migratory birds coming. So when these migratory birds are flying, it is not that the always the one bird is flying in the front. The one whoever is flying in the front, he has to take a toll of the winds and other things. So they have a particular pattern in which they keep on rotating, and whoever is strongest will stay in the front, and as he will be tired he'll go back, and another one who had relaxed till now will take over the command. So these animals, birds and insects, they are having different optimization techniques. So have you heard about this kind of optimization techniques, statistics guys? Electrical, electronics also, they might have done these kinds of optimization. Optimization techniques, do you anybody has looked into these optimization techniques? You don't have any idea of optimization techniques. Like in electronics, it is very common that you are having, when there is a PCB design, their electronic components are fitted. Nowadays there are 5 layer, 4 layer or 6 layer PCBs. So the holes in the PCBs are based on the circuit that are there. Some things are connected, some things are not connected. So the copper layers in the different layers of PCB, some are present, some are not present. So they apply something called a graph theory. So if anybody has done a graph theory in their UG course, so graph theory is something like a netlist that you are having, and there which register, say R1 is connected to this and this points, R2 is connected to this and this. So resistances are given in that way. Then your conductance, voltage sources, capacitors, inductors, ICs, this leg is connected to that leg, and so whole graph theory application is done. And then they are optimized in such a way that the miniaturization is there. The most least possible area is occupied with all these kind of things. So they have to optimize the thing, because you have to fit the circuit into your mobile phone or your laptop. So you have to optimize these things. And if you have a very long circuit, then also with multiple layers of PCB, you can apply graph theory based optimization of the connection points, and then you can come into that. So this architecture design and other things is different, but along with that you have to have these also. Okay, electronics guys, if you are interested, you can have a look. And for electrical guys, optimization done in say when you are having power plant where you are controlling the temperature, pressure, SCADA based controls, DCS PLC based controls, there also optimization techniques are there. You are having solar cells which based on the energy you are rotating, there you have optimization. For statistics guys, you are having lot of optimization in various optimization algorithms are there. Statistical optimization is done. So for you, some different optimization techniques, different formulas of statistical optimizations are there based on the different bio. It can be based on bio-inspired, or it may be fuzzy logic based optimization. Any other logic based optimization can be done. And for IT and computer application students, we can do optimization of sensor networks, how they can, or IoTs, how they are positioned, and the best possible in which they can communicate among each other, whether it is in a say if it is a vineyard, you are having the different grape trees connected, and there you have the soil, water, moisture, and other things, and you have to have the sprinklers connected. In neither of there should be water falling on the trees, as well as they should not retain the too much of water, whether it is tea plantation, vineyards. So IoTs and sensor networks are applied there, and they have to be optimized how, in which position, what controls we can have, and we can do that. Okay. So all of you can Google out these different optimization techniques which are AI based, and based on whichever field you are from, you can plan your projects accordingly. Okay. So there are many more. So intelligent control, intelligent agent, many more. So these are the different applications. So coming to the prominent research areas of artificial intelligence, the first one is expert systems, which was earlier we used to use lot of expert system. Anybody has heard about expert systems? Mainly the electrical students. Electrical guys, have you heard about expert systems? Electrical students, have you heard? Okay. So earlier we had expert systems. They were mainly based on power plant. I'll be discussing this in detail, so I'll be taking up. Mainly electrical and instrumentation people used to use expert systems more. Others also used to use, but mainly it was common for them. Then fuzzy logic systems, most of you have heard. Then the search algorithms, which is very common for computer science IT students. Then robotics, it is common to all, whether it is electronics or mechatronics, or because robotics has all the departments attached with them. Then natural language processing. One of my scholars has recently submitted his thesis on natural language processing. So he has worked on the northeastern languages. So he has applied various machine learning algorithms. So I'll be discussing briefly on the natural language processing. And lastly, the neural networks. This I'll be going into much more details. So these will be the 6 areas which I'll be discussing, prominent research domains of artificial intelligence. And I'll be giving you overview of all of them, and we'll be diving into details of the neural networks, because your deep learning, machine learning mostly are based on the neural networks. So though it is a AI course, I'll be giving you some idea of your deep learning and machine learning. So I'll be going into the neural networks much more in details. Okay, clear up to this?
Yes, sir.
So today I'll be discussing mainly the expert systems, and if time permits, say within 11, I'll be going to the fuzzy logic systems also. Okay, so this will be a very much overview kind of thing, and if you are interested to go in more details, then we can go later on. But mainly I'm focusing on the neural networks. Okay. So first, coming to the expert systems, this was the initial phase where AI came into the market. So AI based expert systems were there. So these expert systems are one of the prominent research areas nowadays. Expert systems are still there, but there is because of the deep learning and machine learning, so there have been modifications in them. So it was introduced by CSE department of Stanford University long back, and these are actually computer applications, and they were developed to solve complex problems in any domain, any irrespective of the domain, and where what we wanted to do is that we want to replace some expert person. Say for example, there is a person who is working in a power plant for long before this DCS and SCADA based automated controls were there, and he was very good in say in finding out where the problem is and how to solve it. There are many people who have been working, and maybe they are not qualified also. उसका मान लो बीटेक भी नहीं है, एमटेक भी नहीं है, कुछ भी नहीं है, but he knows much more better than, and you have seen that irrespective of the degree, if a person is working, अभी मोबाइल जो रिपेयर करने वाला दुकान है उन लोगों का क्या बीटेक है, एमटेक है, कुछ भी नहीं है, बट they can repair mobiles much better than you guys. You guys are having at least the electronics guys are having very sound knowledge of electronics, but even with that sound knowledge, if you go for repairing a mobile phone, you will not be able to do that. You have studied the processor, you have studied the controls and everything. You know that there is a processor in it, it is controlling that display, you know it, and those things electronics guys know, but you know it theoretically. Practically you don't know it, isn't it? So the main idea of these expert systems was that if there is somebody who is an expert, and you cannot have him everywhere, like a very popular joke is there that there is some problem in the machine, and they call an engineer. The engineer comes and he takes a say hammer and bangs somewhere and the machine starts, and then said, you have just banged here with this hammer, and you are charging say 10,000 rupees. So he said 1 rupee is for banging the hammer and rest is for knowing where to bang. So that knowing where to bang is very important. Okay. And that comes with expertise. Clear up to this?
Yes,
So,
sir.
so what people are planning to do is that they want to bring in the idea of the expert, because there is say only one expert in this area, and you are having so many people. Abhi, last year or just before the COVID, anybody has heard that TNGCL में आग लग गया था, वो आग बंद नहीं हो रहा था, फिर 3 दिन या 4 दिन के बाद आग बंद हुआ. Have you heard about that? Palatana plant. Before the COVID. So at that time, what happened? They had to call an engineer from outside, means outside India. He came, and by the time he came, no doubt the fire had stopped. Our engineers could do it, but at least 5 days, the whole this gas was burning, and a lot of gas was wasted. So if you have gas coming out and burning 5 days long, it is a huge wastage of natural resources. But the our engineers took 5 days to do it, and in between we had to call an engineer from outside India, and by the time he reached, already the fire our engineers could do it. They were saying that that is wastage of money and other things anyway, but our engineers could do it in 5 days. Now, maybe if he was brought because he had the expertise, maybe he could have done it in 1 day. But because of the distance we spent, so if we could have that expertise of that person embedded in a computer, and our engineers could have used that instead of interacting with that person physically, then we could have done it. Obviously not, because here the judging of the situation is very important. So here the basic idea is that you will take a expert and you will try to replicate him or her by a computer which is behaving like him or her. That is the basic idea. So the characteristics of these expert systems are: number one, they have to have high performance, they should be understandable, and they should be reliable. Okay. Electrical guys know about reliability. Other than electrical students, have anybody heard about the reliability? Reliability. There is a specific engineering field called reliability engineering. Anybody any idea reliability engineering? Okay. Electrical guys, anybody any idea of reliability engineering? You guys have any idea of the reliability engineering thing?
Yes, sir.
Huh? So can you tell me just what is this reliability engineering? Basic, brief in one line. See, reliability engineering is a where, say, for example, I switch on the fan and the fan, so it is reliable that I know that I am confident that whenever I will switch on this fan, it will rotate and it will rotate in this. Okay. For energy systems or any other things, you are having this reliability. Any system is also having a reliability. A reliable system is one which performs as per our expectation. So anything that is not performing as per expectation or as per a particular thing, sometimes what will happen, say for example, we
which
know
is
that
stable, sir. We just
yes, they're stable. And anything else, Tasdik?
which gives result according to expectations, and we can rely on that. Like support system, every time we know it will be our support system.
Yes. So along with that, one more thing is that when it is reliability, means say for example, I know that Tasdik is the say topper of the class. If I know that Tasdik is topper of the class, I expect that if his exam goes bad, all others' exam will go bad. But sometimes what happens is that due to unknowingly or something, say his exam goes bad, but others perform well, so that is out of the normal system. So any reliable systems are those who do not behave out of the normal system, and they behave in a, say if I know that say Vishal is a good student or bad student, whatever I know about him. So if I know Vishal is a good student, he should always perform good. If I know that he is a bad student, he should always behave say perform badly. If I know that he Vishal is a mediocre student, he should always perform in mediocre. Okay. So if he is, I am thinking he's mediocre and he is becoming the topper of the class, then also it is unreliable. And if I think that he is a topper and he comes last in the class, then also it is unreliable system. Okay. And even it may be the other way around. I think that Deepjyoti is the worst student of the class and he comes out to be the topper. So in that case also it is unreliable system. So whenever there is a expectation and the system behaves as per expectation, then it is a reliable system. It is not about the system being bad or good. Bad or good is a different thing. Here reliability can be bad or good based on uh, like क्या है वो क्रिकेट में है इंडिया क्रिकेट टीम लाइन में हार रहा है तो वी एक्सपेक्ट दैट दे विल विन and they are losing out. And Pakistan team, we are expecting them to lose and they are winning. So both are now unreliable, isn't it? Clear? So now in this case, both are unreliable. So normally whenever we have an expert system, it should be reliable, means whatever we expect, it should work on that. It should have high performance and it should be understandable. Understandable means whatever response it is giving, it should be understandable by the people who are using that particular expert system. Then highly responsive means whenever there is slight changes, it should be able to respond. If there is slight changes and it is not responding, that means that it is not behaving properly. So as if because without proper response means with respect to slight changes, it will say make some outputs, and along with that it will take some take some outputs, and it will be giving some output out of that. Okay. So there are some capabilities as well as some incapabilities of the expert systems. First, coming to the capabilities, they should be capable of advising, instructing, and assisting some human decisions, demonstrating, then deriving a solution, diagnosing a problem, explaining what is this and what is that, interpreting the input, predicting the results, then justifying some conclusion, as well as to say suggest some alternative options to a problem. So these are your just the capabilities. Okay, so this is the capability. All these are the different capabilities. Now as you go to the next, the incapabilities, so they should be incapable of substituting human decision makers. So if the expert system is able to substitute the human decision maker, then it is say too much of an expert. So normally here expert system is just giving some suggestions and not substituting. So human decision maker should not be substituted. Okay, so this particular thing will not be happening. Then Coming to the second part is possessing human capabilities. So obviously, it should not be possessing any human capabilities, as we are not having a human being there. We are having a expert system. So as it is a system, so it should not be human. So this human part here and here should not be there. Okay. Then producing accurate output for inadequate knowledge base. For even if the knowledge base is inaccurate, is not there, accurate output should not be given because it is an expert system. Without proper knowledge base, as it is an expert, it should not be like if I think that say any one of you is expert on something. If I don't give you the full data, you being expert should not come to some conclusion. Why? Because if you are an expert, you know that you have to judge the whole situation properly and then come to the solution. So producing accurate output for inadequate knowledge base means it is the system is not a proper expert system. Okay. And refining own knowledge, so they will have the they should be incapable of refining their own knowledge, because if they are able to refine their own knowledge means they have not replicated the expert system. Okay. So these are the capabilities and incapabilities of the expert system. Clear up to this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next, coming to the components of the expert system. The components of the expert systems are, the first is a knowledge base. Knowledge base means from earlier inferences and other things, previous knowledge will be having a knowledge base. Secondly, there will be inference engine. Inference engine means from this whatever the knowledge base, you have to infer something, and that is the inference engine. And third is the user interface. So if you are having a, because I said that they are incapable of replicating humans, so human beings will be there. So with a human experts, the expert systems will be like, say, a group of board of say experts who are giving some suggestions, and based on which the CEO of the company is making some decision. So this is the basic idea. You have a human expert, which may be a, say, doctor, and there is a knowledge engineer. So the knowledge engineer will produce a knowledge base based on the human expert. Okay. And then there is a inference engine, and then you have a user interface where it will come to the user. Okay. So it is something like, say, just to give you an idea, not from the expert system point of view. Say, for example, I'll discuss one system which say we used long back. Say, for example, I was previously working in Arunachal Pradesh in Nerist. So in Nerist, we have an entrance for this diploma students. Okay. So diploma students entrance is a tricky thing. Why tricky thing? Because here we are, Nerist has seats for the 8 northeastern states. Those who are not having PRC, there is 10% seat for them, as well as there is a merit list for the northeast students. So for diploma students, there are 70 seats. Now 70 seats is fine, but there is a problem. What is the problem? Problem is that all states have different reservation policies. Okay. So now all states are having different reservation policies. Tripura is having 31% ST. Arunachal is having 90% ST. Nagaland is having 90% ST. Meghalaya is having 90% ST, out of which 40 or 50% is Khasi Jainta and rest is Garo. Okay. So in ST also they are having reservation. Sikkim is having Bhutia, Lepcha, more backward class, other backward class, ST non-Bhutia Lepcha, ST Bhutia Lepcha. So this kind of reservation. Assam is having a different kind of reservation with reservation for ST, SC and these things. Or rest of India is having a normal reservation with 50% general, 27% your OBC, then ST, SC. So our Tripura is a bit different than that. Tripura is having 31% ST. There we are having 27% OBC. So it is a very big hodgepodge. Okay. So you have to maintain different reservation policies of the 8 northeastern states, as well as you have to maintain, एक इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स वाला को इलेक्ट्रिकल में तो घुसा नहीं सकता या मैकेनिकल में घुसा नहीं सकता, सिविल का नहीं घुसा सकता. अभी सीट भी देना है. There are 6 different engineering branches: electrical, electronics, computer, then mechanical, civil, agriculture. So 6 different branches. हर एक स्टेट का 7 सीट है. अभी 7 सीट में जनरल को रिजर्वेशन देना है, तो और एसटी एससी को जनरल रिजर्वेशन देना है, ओबीसी को जनरल रिजर्वेशन देना है. एंड नाउ आई एम आस्किंग यू टू डिजाइन ए कंप्यूटर प्रोग्राम व्हिच आफ्टर द रिजल्ट्स विल शॉर्टलिस्ट द स्टूडेंट्स बेस्ड ऑन देयर रिजर्वेशन, बेस्ड ऑन देयर स्टेट, बेस्ड ऑन द सीट्स ऑफ एवरी ब्रांच. एंड हर एक ब्रांच में 12 सीट है. 12 से ज्यादा सीट नहीं होगा. नाउ हाउ विल यू डू इट? Getting the problem? There are 70 seats, each state having 7 seats, means 8 स्टेट हो गया नॉर्थ ईस्ट का, 7 to 8 56 यहाँ पे हो गया. फिर ऑल इंडिया का 7 सीट्स हो गया, और मेरिट लिस्ट नॉर्थ ईस्ट का 7 सीट्स हो गया. उस नॉर्थ ईस्ट का मेरिट लिस्ट में से 7 में से 2 सीट हम लोग फिजिकली हैंडीकैप्ड को देंगे और 5 को मेरिट लिस्ट के देंगे. ओके, एंड आई आस्क यू टू डिजाइन ए प्रोग्राम which after getting the results of all the states will sort them. Now anybody any idea how will you sort the students? अभी उन लोग का अलग अलग ब्रांच है. इलेक्ट्रिकल का अलग क्वेश्चन होता है, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स का अलग क्वेश्चन होता है, मैकेनिकल का अलग क्वेश्चन होता है, एग्रीकल्चर वाला को इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स का सीट नहीं दे सकते. और हर एक स्टेट में कोई भी एक ही ब्रांच का 2 सीट हो सकता है, और टोटल कोई भी ब्रांच में 12 स्टूडेंट से ज्यादा नहीं हो सकता. Getting the problem?
Yes, sir. Sir, we can group them and rank them according to marks.
Then what about the state quotas
Sir, bubble sorting.
and state reservations? State wise अलग अलग रिजर्वेशन है.
Sir, first we'll categorize the reservations. Then we will distribute according to them into the states.
स्टेट का तो उन लोगों का ऑलरेडी ग्रुप किया हुआ है. मान लो कि त्रिपुरा से 50 स्टूडेंट है जो मतलब रिटन क्लियर किया. अभी 50 में से यू डोंट नो, एग्रीकल्चर का सिर्फ एक ही हो सकता है. एग्रीकल्चर तो है नहीं यहाँ पे, एग्रीकल्चर का एक ही है. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स का ज्यादा हो गया, कंप्यूटर साइंस का ज्यादा हो गया. किसी का कम होगा, किसी का ज्यादा स्टूडेंट होगा. फिर उसमें हो सकता है फिर जनरल होगा, बिकॉज इन त्रिपुरा यू हैव टू रिजर्व देम इन एसटी एससी जनरल ओबीसी. त्रिपुरा का ओबीसी सीट कम है. अभी सेम चीज ऑल इंडिया में ओबीसी सीट ज्यादा होगा जो ऑल इंडिया का स्टूडेंट्स है. फिर इन असम इट इज डिफरेंट. अभी अरुणाचल का होगा तो अरुणाचल या नागालैंड जो ट्राइबल स्टेट्स है, देयर द रिजर्वेशन इज दैट 90 मींस 6 सीट्स एसटी होगा, 1 सीट जनरल होगा. और उसमें भी फिर स्टेट जनरल और सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉइज और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉइज का जनरल में फिर उनका 5% है. उनका सिस्टम है 90% इज एसटी, अरुणाचल एसटी, and 10% में से 5% is state government employees who are working in Arunachal and 5% is central government working in Arunachal. The same is for Nagaland also. और जो मेघालय में सेम है, बट उसमें बोला है कि बाकी जो 10% है उसमें से सॉरी मेघालय के लिए 40% इज गारो, 40% इज खासी जैंता, 10% इज एसटीज इन मेघालय अदर देन गारो एंड जैंता और खासी, एंड 10% में से 5% स्टेट गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉय, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉय, ये सब है. So if you want to design a common program for them, it is a very big problem. So I hope you are getting, because एक का ब्रांच को फिर ब्रांच के वाइज हम लोग मान लो कि रिजर्वेशन जब चेक किया तो एसटी के एक ही स्टूडेंट है, लेकिन उसको हम लोग इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स या इलेक्ट्रिकल नहीं दे पा रहे हैं क्योंकि उससे ज्यादा मार्क्स मिल गया है कोई दूसरा को, who is from other reservation quota. Getting the problem? You have
Yes,
to take care, you have to take care of state reservation, you have to take care of branch reservation, you have to take care of overall seats, as well as अभी one thing we can simply decide, अच्छा ठीक है 12 सीट है तो हर एक ब्रांच को तो 12 सीट है और टोटल हमारा 70 सीट्स है. सो 12 into 6 अगर करेंगे, 12 into 6 कितना हुआ, 72 हो रहा है, और मेरा 70 सीट्स है. इट्स ओके, 70 और 72 यहाँ पे मिल गया, नो प्रॉब्लम इन दैट. और स्टेट वाइज देखेंगे 7 है, तो 8 स्टेट्स, 10% इज फॉर ऑल इंडिया एंड 10% इज फॉर मेरिट एंड फिजिकली हैंडीकैप। तो मेरा वहां पे 7 into 10 70 हो गया। तो यहाँ पे 70 हो गया, वहां पे 72 हो गया, और 12 into मतलब 12 का लिमिट है। बट इन्हें कोई स्टेट को तो मुझे एक ब्रांच का 2 सीट देना पड़ेगा, isn't it? एक स्टेट में 7 सीट्स है, तो त्रिपुरा में अगर 7 सीट्स है, त्रिपुरा का हम लोग पहले से बोल दिया कि ठीक है, नेरिस्ट में 6 ब्रांच है, हम लोग त्रिपुरा का 6 स्टूडेंट को 6 अलग अलग ब्रांच में सिलेक्ट करेंगे। अभी जो 7वां स्टूडेंट त्रिपुरा से जाएगा वो कौन सा ब्रांच लेगा, वी हैव टू डिसाइड दैट आल्सो। गेटिंग? अभी त्रिपुरा वाला इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स ले लिया, असम वाला इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स ले लिया, अभी आगे में दूसरा स्टेट का हम किसी को इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स दे नहीं सकते। व्हाई? बिकॉज सबका एक एक है, एक एक जो एक्स्ट्रा सीट है, एक्स्ट्रा सीट हम लोग इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स में दे सकते हैं, क्योंकि इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स का तो 10 का 10 हो गया, और 2 एक्स्ट्रा असम और त्रिपुरा ले लिया, तो अभी तो 12 हो गया ना इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स में। तो 13 नंबर स्टूडेंट तो हम लोग मणिपुर से नहीं घुसा सकते हैं उसमें। गेटिंग द प्रॉब्लम?
Yes, sir.
So it is a very complex problem. So we need 2 people. One is the knowledge engineer. Knowledge engineer is a person who knows programming as well as who knows reservation. He has to know both of them. And human expert, he will only talk about what? Reservation policy. उसको reservation policy मालूम है, उसको मालूम है कि कुछ अगर लफड़ा हुआ RTI उसके नाम पे ही आएगा, और पूरा पेरेंट्स गार्जियन सब लोग मिलके इसका दिमाग खा देगा। सो दैट इज द ह्यूमन एक्सपर्ट। सो ही इज वेरी मेटिकुलस अबाउट किसको कौन सा डिपार्टमेंट में डालना है, बट ही वांट्स द प्रोसेस टू बी ऑटोमेटेड, क्योंकि इतना बड़ा मेरिट लिस्ट लेके ही इज नॉट एबल टू हैंडल इट। So knowledge engineer is where we guys come in. We guys will understand from the human expert how he wants to do, and we, knowing the programming on how to apply the programming in his problem, will decide that. Okay? And based on that, we'll be creating a knowledge base. तो knowledge base क्या होगा? हम लोग एक सिस्टम ऑटोमेटिक कर लिया। क्या सिस्टम हो गया कि हम लोग त्रिपुरा का या कोई भी स्टेट का पहले क्या करेंगे, हर एक ब्रांच का टॉपर्स का नाम ले लेंगे। तो कितना ब्रांच है? 6 ब्रांच है, हमारा 7 सीट है। सो वील हैव 6 toppers of the 6 branches from the Tripura students. Getting? We can get that or not? Getting the problem? If you are understanding the problem, then I'll discuss the solution.
Yes, sir.
So when you are having we are having 7 seats of Tripura. बट पहले हम लोग क्या करेंगे, जो एक्स्ट्रा सीट के बारे में हम लोग भूल जाएंगे, लीव द एक्स्ट्रा सीट। वो एक्स्ट्रा सीट के बारे में अभी हम लोग नहीं सोचेंगे। हम लोग को सोचना है कि त्रिपुरा को तो 6 ब्रांच में 6 सीट मिलेगा एक एक करके। सो वील टेक दो 6, और 6 सीट में हमको क्या करना पड़ेगा, वी हैव टू प्रेफर द टॉपर्स। एग्रीकल्चर में जो टॉपर है, मैकेनिकल में जो टॉपर है, या सिविल में जो टॉपर है, उसको तो हमको देना पड़ेगा ना। सबको तो टॉपर को हम लोग कोशिश करना पड़ेगा देने के लिए। विल टेक द टॉपर्स। ओके, सो सबका टॉपर, बट डायरेक्टली हम लोग टॉपर को सीट नहीं दे सकते। व्हाई? मान लो कि सब टॉपर अगर जनरल हुआ तब क्या होगा, रिजर्वेशन पॉलिसी में प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा, क्योंकि 7 में से हाफ दैट इज 3.5। कभी त्रिपुरा का रोस्टर में 3 सीट्स देता है, कभी 4 सीट्स देता है। वो त्रिपुरा का 100 पॉइंट रोस्टर है। तो कभी जनरल का 3 सीट्स हो रहा है, कभी 4 सीट्स हो रहा है। व्हेनेवर यू आर हैविंग दीज सीट्स, तो मान लो कि अभी मेरा 4 सीट जनरल को दे सकते हैं। अभी 6 में से 6 ही अगर जनरल हुआ तो हम लोग कौन सा 6 को देंगे, कौन सा 4 को देंगे? दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम। getting the problem what we are facing. So what we'll do, 6 टॉपर को लेंगे। वो 6 टॉपर में से पहले देखेंगे जनरल कितना है। मान लो ऐसे ही रैंडम सोच लिया कि 6 का 6 ही जनरल है, तो 6 का 6 जनरल है, तो हम लोग क्या करेंगे, सिर्फ उन लोगों को फिर नंबर को ऑर्डर करेंगे। सो व्हेन वी अरेंज देम इन ऑर्डर, देन व्हाट विल हैपन। अभी 6 तो ठीक है, 6 का 6 टॉपर को लिया, बट उन लोगों का भी तो नंबर में डिफरेंस होगा। नंबर में अगर डिफरेंस होगा, जो भी 0.5 से भी ज्यादा है, फर्स्ट 4 या फर्स्ट 3 whichever, उस साल अगर 3 जनरल हुआ तो 3 लेंगे, 4 जनरल हुआ तो 4 लेंगे। तो टॉप 3 या 4 जनरल कोटा। जनरल कोटा मींस एसटी एससी भी जनरल में आ सकता है। इट डजंट मीन दैट यूआर मींस अनरिजर्व्ड। इट डजंट मीन दैट ए एससी और एसटी और ओबीसी कैंडिडेट कैन नॉट बी अनरिजर्व्ड। Getting with the reservation policy?
Yes, sir.
So first 3 or 4, irrespective of their category and other things, will directly go to the 3 or 4 branches. अभी वो 3 और 4 ब्रांचेस सिविल, मैकेनिकल, एग्रीकल्चर, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स भी हो सकता है, या सिविल, मैकेनिकल, इलेक्ट्रिकल भी हो सकता है, जो भी होगा। आई डोंट हैव टू वरी अबाउट द ब्रांच। जिस ब्रांच का सीट फिलअप हो गया वो सीट खत्म। अभी उसके बाद 0.5 नंबर एक्स्ट्रा लेके भी अगर कोई नीचे नेक्स्ट वाला, अभी मान लो कि कंप्यूटर साइंस में विशाल और दीपज्योति दोनों बैठा, दोनों में से एक को ही मिलेगा, दोनों को नहीं मिलेगा कोई एंगल में, प्रोवाइडेड बोथ ऑफ देयर रिजर्वेशंस आर सेम एंड बोथ ऑफ देयर ब्रांचेस आर सेम। ऐसा हो सकता है कि दोनों में से एक टॉपर है, एक सेकंड टॉपर है, और मान लो ताजदीक इलेक्ट्रिकल से बैठा है, बट ताजदीक का नंबर इन दोनों से कम है, बट ताजदीक को मिलेगा बिकॉज हिज ब्रांच इज डिफरेंट। गेटिंग? क्लियर अप टू दिस?
Yes, sir.
So what we'll do is that first we'll complete that. इसके बाद हम लोग देखेंगे कौन सा ब्रांच खाली है एंड कौन सा रिजर्वेशन खाली है। ओके, इसके बाद वो ब्रांच और वो रिजर्वेशन का हम लोग सर्च करेंगे। मान लो कि लास्ट में एग्रीकल्चर और सिविल खाली है, 4 हमने दे दिया, और 2 एग्रीकल्चर और सिविल खाली है, और रिजर्वेशन जो है एक एसटी और एक एससी खाली है। तो एक एसटी और अगर एक एससी खाली है, या फिर 2 एसटी और एक एससी खाली है, हम लोग क्या करेंगे, एसटी एंड एससी कॉम्बिनेशन का सिविल और एग्रीकल्चर का सब स्टूडेंट्स को एक साथ करेंगे। करने के बाद उनका जो मेरिट वाइज जो आएगा उसको देंगे। जिसका सबसे ज्यादा होगा, सिविल या एग्रीकल्चर जिस डिपार्टमेंट का भी होगा, एसटी या एससी जो भी होगा, ही विल टेक द 5th सीट। और 6th सीट बाय डिफॉल्ट अगर सिविल का आया तो एग्रीकल्चर का होगा, एग्रीकल्चर का आया तो सिविल का होगा। गेटिंग? बट स्टिल वी हैव ए इशू। व्हाट इज द इशू? एक सीट अभी भी खाली है, 7 नंबर वाला, अभी तो 6 ही दिया है ना। वो 7 नंबर वाला हम लोग रख देंगे। अभी सब स्टेट को 6-6-6-6 करके दे देंगे। सब स्टेट का हम लोग 6-6-6-6 करके अगर दे दिया तो 8 स्टेट्स है। 8 स्टेट्स के साथ ऑल इंडिया और मेरिट और फिजिकली हैंडीकैप्ड आ गया। ये सब होने के बाद हम लोग क्या करेंगे, सब ब्रांच में एक एक करके हो गया तो 10 सीट तो सबका फिलअप हो गया ना, प्रोवाइडेड कोई ब्रांच का कोई कॉम्बिनेशन में नहीं है तो वो खाली रहेगा। बट 60 सीट्स थिंग इज डन। अभी बाकी जो 10 है उसके लिए सोचना है। उसके लिए हम लोग क्या करेंगे, नेक्स्ट सेट ऑफ टॉपर्स को लेंगे, और जो रिलेवेंट रिजर्वेशन वाले हैं, मान लो कि त्रिपुरा का एसटी एक खाली है, मेघालय का एक जनरल खाली है, नागालैंड का एक एसटी खाली है, तो सबका क्या करेंगे, जो खाली रिजर्वेशन कोटा का कौन सा ब्रांच में है उसको लेंगे। लेने के बाद हम लोग अरेंज करने के बाद देखेंगे उसमें से किसका हाईएस्ट है। जिसका हाईएस्ट है उस ब्रांच में तो 10 ही सीट हुआ, उसको दे देंगे। दूसरा वाला भी अगर सेम ब्रांच का होगा देन ऑल्सो आई विल बी अलॉटिंग इट टू दैट ब्रांच ओनली, क्योंकि वो मेरिट, वो स्टूडेंट तो अच्छा है ना, इरेस्पेक्टिव ऑफ द स्टेट हो, क्योंकि हर एक स्टेट को एक ही एक्स्ट्रा दे रहे हैं, 2 एक्स्ट्रा नहीं दे रहे हैं। गेटिंग? So you have to program it in that way. So the knowledge engineer is that he will understand from the human expert the reservation policy, and he will write the program for that, and he will prepare a knowledge base, and based on which inference engine will be there. Why inference engine is there? Because every time the name list reservation policy will not be same. हर एक साल अलग अलग रिजर्वेशन पॉलिसी आएगा, जैसे रोस्टर चेंज होगा। इस बार जनरल 4 है, अगले बार जनरल 3 होगा, तो एसटी एक ज्यादा होगा, या ओबीसी पहले नहीं था उसमें ओबीसी आएगा। सो वी हैव टू ब्रिंग ऑल ऑफ देम इनटू अकाउंट एंड देन वी हैव टू डिसाइड। एंड यूजर इंटरफेस इज द वन हु इज, जो सामने में बैठा हुआ है कंप्यूटर वाला, जो रिजर्वेशन लिस्ट या उसके बाद वो इनपुट करेगा द लिस्ट, एंड ही विल ऑटोमेटिकली गेट के शॉर्टलिस्टेड कैंडिडेट्स का लिस्ट मिल जाएगा कंप्यूटर से। So inference engine has to use the knowledge base to generate with the help of the user interface to generate the reservation list. You got the idea? I'm just giving an example. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll discuss the knowledge base and other things in details in the next class. Okay, so I'll continue tomorrow. And try to join in early. Many of you are joining in at 10:30 because again from 12 I have MTech second year class, and